Europe is a pioneer in establishing a region where interregional migration no longer exists. The Schengen Agreement created a borderless Europe where now millions of people live outside of their country of origin, but still within the EU. Recently, because of a lot of migration flows, we've seen numerous European countries shift to the right when it comes to their policies. Xenophobic rhetoric, threats to close borders, and actual anti-immigration policies have been seen all over Europe, and a lot of politicians and far-right parties are growing in popularity. To dive deeper into Europe's changing immigration landscape, we're sitting down with Andrew Seeley of the Migration Policy Institute.
My name is Andrew Seeley. I'm the president of the Migration Policy Institute, and we're immensely pleased to be partnering with Immigrant Food on the Think Table, thinking about immigration around the world. Europe is fascinating because Europe is one of the big experiments in mobility, right? The Schengen Agreement really has allowed most Europeans within the EU to move freely from one country to another, right? And to act almost as though they're a national of that country. That is an incredible step forward. It's almost forgotten these days because people just know it exists, right? It's part of the backdrop of people's lives, but it is a huge evolution in how we think about migration. And so that's the first thing I've got to say is there's a lot of mobility. Obviously the UK left and, changes things, but overall you still got a lot of countries where people move back and forth with incredible ease, carry social benefits. I mean, that's all this complicated stuff. It just happens naturally. Then you have lots of migration coming from other parts of the world. Europe is most countries in Europe are aging societies, huge labor market needs, and so very active legal immigration. And of course, Europe is filled with countries that have both colonial ties to other parts of the world, but are also very attractive because of their universities and technology and industry. So lots of legal migration. But then you get to the fourth part, and this is where all the debate is, which is people who arrive through irregular routes, often from Africa, the Middle East, and Asia, occasionally from Latin America in the case of Spain. And often are seeking asylum or trying to come in otherwise. And that it's actually not the biggest part of what's going on in Europe, but it is the most controversial part. It is the part that since 2015 and the crisis in Syria, where lots of people came into Europe at once, it's the part that's consumed the oxygen of the debate, and it is something that needs to be thought about seriously. But Europe's gotten a lot right.
Speaking exactly of that conversation, I mean, there's lots of divisions within Europe itself, thinking of those that are more burdened with migration, thinking of the southern countries, right? Spain, Italy, Greece, versus the northern countries. How are those divisions being addressed?
It's interesting. Everyone thinks that they're the ones that's overburdened in this, because certainly the southern countries, right? I mean, it's Spain, Italy, and Greece get the largest number of people coming in through the Mediterranean, right? I mean, the boats are coming there, right? And they feel like when people come in, they have to process them in their asylum system. They have to have them in some sort of detained space or let them go. I mean, it's up to them and no one else. In theory, there's an agreement for other countries to share that burden, but it hasn't really happened in practice. But now you're getting to Eastern Central Europe, where really is the entry point for most of the Ukrainians. So a country like Poland, that really had not been an entry point in the past, and suddenly is the biggest entry point for Ukrainians, right? And has really stepped up and actually become a welcoming country for Ukrainians who are displaced by the invasion of Ukraine, right? And this is happening, and this is starting to change the balance. And then when you look at it, some of the Northern European countries like Germany and Sweden are actually major destinations for asylum seekers. And for regular migrants. I mean, there are lots of people who either arrive directly or they manage to come through, or they sort of go through the initial filter and they come up. And so when you talk to them, what you realize is some of the Northern Europeans, they're not on the front line, but people eventually get there.
I mean, to push you a little bit on that, what do you think will happen?
I don't know. I think some countries, you'll see some leadership and some countries that really embrace this. And they realize it's an asset and that it makes them stronger. In Germany, although I think there's some, there's reason to worry in Germany, but you also have some leadership across the political spectrum that sees immigration as an asset and recognizes that their labor market needs, and they're trying to get ahead of it. And they've been at this for 20 years now. So there's an opportunity there. I do think you'll see some countries where they, make it very hard for people to come in. The discussion becomes very politicized. It hurts the economy. But people are willing to hurt the economy in the name of identity. And this will eventually sort out, but it will be hard to get there. And I think it'll be a mixture, And again, it's hard to always look in the crystal ball. I think you're going to see some countries succeed, and they're the ones that'll do really well economically. Germany, Spain, Portugal, for example, are countries that have been embracing immigration. Not always across the spectrum, not always everyone's not, they don't have immigration issues, but overall they've sort of had a more balanced debate on this. I think you're going to see those countries do well with immigration. I think you're going to see a few others that are struggling to figure out where this fits in. Eventually, I think pragmatism will win out, and countries do change, and people's identities change over time. Immigration changes immigrants, but it also changes the society they move into. And I think that'll happen everywhere in Europe in the way it has other places in the world, but it's not going to go easy in some countries.
Immigration is an issue around the world, and today we took a look at immigration in Europe. To learn more about this, as well as many other immigration-related topics, follow us on social media @ImmigrantFood. Sign up for our weekly newsletter, where each week we send you 5 ways that you can make a difference. And join us inside the Immigrant Food restaurants to stay #United at the table. See you guys next month for a different issue.